What's up, guys? So the first tier list video is here. So Konami have re-released the best player of the week cards from the Champion League throughout the season. So we're gonna go put them in a tier list, and it'll help kind of inform whether I think it's a pack worth spinning for or not. So let's get right into it. So the way we're gonna do it is we're gonna go through the players, look at their stats here, and then rank them in accordance to the overall game. So just because of the best player in this pack or a really good player in this pack doesn't mean they're going to go into A tier. It means I'm trying to compare them to the overall game, so you'll know if they're worth spinning for or not. So first player, Musiala, a very good card. You can see his tie position and ball control are very high. That'll get to 99 tie position, 98 ball control if you have one of the booster managers. His low pass is over 90, very fast. In terms of acceleration anyway, his speed's a bit low. He's got high weak foot accuracy, which is good. And in skills, he's got double touch, chop turn, cut behind and turn, soul control, long range curler, good combo, dip and shot, first time shot, one touch pass, super sub, and gamesmanship. So this guy is very good. I think also the thing about the super sub is look at his positions. He can play in a good few positions, mostly on the left. So I think this guy is very good. So if I'm putting him in this tier list, I'm thinking I think I'm going to start off on A tier with Musiala, honestly. Now, these aren't final. I might go back and kind of change my mind after thinking about it more, but at the start, that Musiala does look like A tier. Like, obviously, the big time would probably be S tier. That big time, Musiala is very good. The A tier for this one, I think, is a fair rating. So the next player we'll look at is Rafael Leao. Now, I hate playing against Rafael Leao, but really only the big time versions. These other versions I'm not usually too worried about. I think while this one is very fast, he's got, not great tight possession. His finishing's okay. He's not got good jumping. So I'm not too worried about this card. I think if we look at his skills, he's got some decent skills. He's got flip flap, double touch, and soul control. So he got the level 3. He's got long range curler to boot. Acrobatic finishing's good. Scissors feint, good. Cut behind, good. So super sub as well. Decent. He's not terrible, but he does have a low attacking awareness. Just because of the tight possession, I'm leaning towards A and B. I think we'll go for a B tier. I think we'll go a high B tier for Leao. So we'll have it so if they're furthest on the left, that means they're the best in that tier. So we will be rejigging these guys around after. So there's Leao into B tier. Let me zoom in a slight bit, make it a little bit larger. Okay, so the next player we're going to look at is also the whole player in Leao does make him effective, I think, particularly in left mid. Is Griezmann, and this Griezmann's interesting. He's a centre mid, also a whole player. I think if you wanted him centre mid, that would be the best playstyle for him. He's got great ball control. He's got okay tight possession, okay dribbling, good finishing. Not really that fast though, and low offensive awareness. His skills. Griezmann's a world-class player, so his skills are never too bad. Double touch, long-range shooting, acrobatic finishing, first-time shot, one-touch pass, true pass, pinpoint crossing, and low-lofted pass are all useful. Maybe if he had weighted pass, it'd be a new dimension to his game, but he's still a decent card. I think the main problem with this Griezmann is the speed / dribbling, like the actual dribbling stat itself. That determines, speed's obviously how fast you are, but dribbling's how fast you are with the ball. If you're playing him centre mid as a whole player, that speed is very important to get up the pitch quickly. If you play him AMF whole player, the speed is less important, but it still is really important. Whole players need to be fast to be properly effective. There was a whole player, De Bruyne, that came out a while ago, and I thought he was terrible just because he was too slow. So he's an okay card. He is versatile. This opinion might upset some people. I do understand why people would like him, but I've used Griezmann a few times and never gotten on well with him. I don't know. I just never got on well with him, and it's weird because I liked him in FIFA when I used him on FIFA. So I'm gonna put him in C tier. So that might I don't know, that might shock some people. I think I do see Griezmann quite often on Dream Team. So that might be a bit of a different opinion to most, but it's just the way I feel. There is a big time Griezmann coming. Euros one with a big time Messi. I mentioned that about a month ago on a video. They have got kind of, I think the card design have been added to the database, so that is coming. But yeah, that's where I'm going to put Griezmann. So next player, Gabriel Jesus, and it's a deep line forward. So I like deep line forwards. I think it's a good playstyle. Is it good in this guy? I don't know. I think if you look at his dribbling stats, it's a shame. When did this guy come out? Does it tell us on the card like when they first came out? 2nd of November, yeah. So you can see with this card, like it was before they done the booster managers. And I don't know if they had plans for it at the time, but you can see the dribbling, like it's so close to getting 85s, and if it has 85s, it takes this card to a whole new level. I think just at the 84s, it's kind of a bit of a problem. His dribbling's a bit too low. He's got good acceleration though, decent kick and power, and good finishing. High weak foot, good aggression. I like that. On a forward, a good defensive engagement. I don't really care about the defensive engagement too much, but the aggression is very good. It's not a terrible card. If we look at his skills though, like he has no double touch. He has no. Does he have? He has true pass, to be fair. Acrobatic finishing, no long range shooting. Yeah, but the double touch is a big miss for the type of player Jesus is supposed to be. Like, I'm looking at him and it's a card that I'd like. You know, the cards that you want to like. He's definitely one of those guys, but I just don't think I do like him too much. So do I put him in? I think when we're going to the tier list now, remember this is the overall game, not within the pack. I think I would have to put him probably in C tier behind Griezmann at the moment. I think that makes the most sense to me. So next player, Ter Stegen. Now usually when I talk about the player of the week packs, I just don't really look at the goalkeepers. I don't think they're that important, and I do think like that is true here. But Ter Stegen is a very good keeper in this game. The best GP keeper for me is Courtois. Then I go Donnarumma, and then that was the only two I'd recommend. But in the last couple of weeks, I've kind of realised how good Ter Stegen is. I mean, maybe you guys have noticed too playing against him. I feel like he's been used a lot more recently. And I noticed when I was commentating ESEL, he was used a couple times by the competitive players, like in $2,000 on the line. They were still using Ter Stegen if they didn't have a legend goalkeeper. So just for that reason alone, I think. Let me think about goalkeepers in the game. 1 sec. I think you got Cech, an S tier, Schmeichel A tier, Dida A tier, Courtois. GP would probably be A tier. Do you know what? Because it's a player of the week, it'll be a little bit. It should be. I haven't looked at the stats. It should be a bit stronger than Courtois. I think it's fair to put Ter Stegen A tier. Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't think it's a major issue. Like, there's only with the goalkeeper, the way goalkeepers work, you only need like, you don't really have taste of goalkeepers. You only need one. So there should only be like a couple, one maybe 2 S tier in the whole game. A couple like 4 A tier, and then the rest should kind of drop off. So I think A is fine. Alright, Immobile. I mean, proper striker, but do you need that in eFootball? I think you need a little bit more than just being a finisher from your striker. So if we look at his skills though, like he's got a few good ones. Cut behind and turns good. Acrobatic finishing, first time shot and 1-touch pass, but he is missing like long range shooting, true passing, air superiority. So I don't think he's great. He'd be okay in the events. Like if you look at his kick and power, at least it is 85, so it'll get that boost, and then 93. Finishing will go to 96. So I think like not a terrible card for events, but realistically, I don't think I've seen this guy in online division. So I think it's fair to say that'll be our first D tier card from the list. Apologies to any Lazio fans that are watching. All right, Camavinga. In Dominator, loved his Orchestrator card. I can't remember when it came out, but he loved them, and I tried to use them, and I never liked them too much. And it's really weird because when eFootball first came out, I had Camavinga, and one of my favorite players. I love him in real life, but I never got on with the Orchestrator card. I do think box to box probably suits him a bit better. Like he is more of an Orchestrator in real life. I think in the game, box to box suits him a bit better. So if we look at his stats, like he's got good dribbling. Particularly ball control, good low pass, speed and acceleration. It's good for a centre mid, and defensive stats are kind of just a bit well rounded, maybe a bit low. But if we look at his skills, he got some decent ones. Marseille turn, soul control, acrobatic finishing, heel trick, 1-touch pass, weighted pass, gamesmanship, track back, interception. They're very good, especially I think track back is something I've kind of come to appreciate recently. But the big one he's missing is true passing. So I don't know. This card just isn't doing enough for me. One thing about him being a box to box instead of an orchestrator is finishing needs to get to at least 70. I always say 70 finishing seems to be enough for box to box players or center mids that are going to shoot. And he doesn't have that, so it's a big kind of factor out of his game. So without true passing, I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to go. D tier on Camavinga if I can find him. Where is he? Is that him there? Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to go D tier on Camavinga now. We'll be ahead of Immobile. Now, if he had true passing, he could get the C. I don't think he'd get the B tier, but he could definitely get the C tier in the high end. But just without the true passing, it's just too much of a downside to the card. Alright, next player. So, Mateus Nunes. I mean, he looks okay. He is a creative playmaker. I'd kind of rather him be a box-to-box too, I think. Because he's got some decent defensive stats. So I think he'd be a better player as a box-to-box. And like he's got better finishing. He has got true passing. Now, he doesn't have interception or track back. So that's probably why maybe he'd be better as a creative playmaker. But I just don't think he's nimble enough as a creative playmaker either. He's only got medium weak foot too. Like, if he had very high weak foot, you could kind of write off the other kind of downsides of the card. But because he's only got the medium, I don't think he's particularly too interesting. So Mateus Nunes, I'm gonna go into D tier, but he will go ahead of Immobile. I feel bad for Immobile. I feel like I'm disrespecting him a bit too much. Okay, next player is Evan Ilson. So this is me if I was Brazilian. His stats aren't great. Like, if we just look at his stats, they're just not that impressive. If we look at his skills though, he has got double touch, but he's missing, you know, acrobatic finishing, long range shooting. No, he has first time shot, but he's missing true pass, and like he's just missing too many. So I think I'm gonna put him in D tier. I mean, I think that was obvious. Where is Evan Ilson? If I forgot to include him in the, I think I forgot to include him. Alright, he's in D tier. He's gonna go. I'd say we'll put him behind Immobile just because I haven't included him in the file. Alright, so I'll go next player. I hope that's the only one I'm missing. Thought I got everyone involved. So we'll imagine that everything else is there, unless I'm just blind and missing them. Oh wait, this isn't. I've also made a mistake here. That's not Gabriel Jesus. Look at me making my first tier list video and I'm making mistakes. Yeah, that's not Gabriel Jesus. I thought he was doing the that celebration. That's Pedro. We'll get back to Pedro later. Where is Gabriel Jesus? There he is. So I had him. Where did I have him here? Yeah. Okay, so apologies. Need to learn how to do these tier list videos. Okay, Akanji. Akanji is okay, but I think I don't know, balance is a bit low. Not that that's a major issue. I'm just kind of looking for complaints, I guess. But good passes. That's what's check the skills in a sec. It's like if he just had like one more speed and two more acceleration, it'd be a different card. It's that threshold. He has got the 85 jumping though. If we look at his skills, he's got one touch pass, weighted pass, no low lofted pass, interception, blocker, aerial, acrobatic clearance, heading, first time shot. Okay, I don't think this card is terrible. I think it's an okay card. I think I'm putting him in the tier list. I think he's a solid C tier card. Now would I put him ahead of Griezmann? I think for me I'd put him ahead of Griezmann, but I think for most people, you guys would put him behind Griezmann. But I've just never liked Griezmann in this game. I don't know why. I've never got on well with him, so I think that's where Akanji's gonna go. Alright, Zubeldia. This guy is not too interesting. Like, if you look at his skills, he doesn't have enough. Got decent stats though. Like he'd be a good centre back slash DMF, especially if you're a new player and you kind of need a player to fill in both positions. But yeah, not terribly interesting. So I think he is gonna go in D tier. Is he gonna go behind the Immobile? I feel like Immobile and Zubeldia would only be of interest to people with new accounts, and I think Immobile would do a better job on a new account. He'd be more important to a team. So I think it's fair to put Immobile just ahead of him. So okay, Now, Baron Texia, is that how I say his name? He isn't actually terrible. There is one major problem with the card though. His skills are double touch, good soul control, no long range curler to complement that soul control, true pass, and pinpoint cross and track back. No acrobatic finishing either. I think the major problem with this card is it's a Roma flank, which is a good thing, but the finishing isn't high enough and the kick compare doesn't compensate. So not a terrible card, but not great either. I think if I were to place him, where is he? Yeah, I'd place him. I think, I don't know. That type possession does seem interesting to me. So do I put him ahead of Immobile? I think I put him behind Mobile just because. Oh, sorry, I didn't have the tier list up. I think you can get away in a formation. You can get away with a striker that can just only finish, but it's harder to get away with wingers that aren't a bit more well-rounded and have more to their game. So I think we'll put him behind Immobile. So Immobile is moving up the rankings the more we go on. All right, Davinson Sanchez. I actually really like this guy. Based on previous PES games though. If you look at his skills, he doesn't have a lot. He does have interception and acrobatic clearance, but he's missing aerial, blocker, like a one-touch pass. So yeah, not a great card this specific version. But Davinson Sanchez can be good in this game if they give him the skill. So Davinson Sanchez, I'll put him in. Where is he? I'll put him in D tier. How important are the skills? Let me just have a look at them again. Because he's missing aerial, I have to put him behind Immobile, I think. Behind Immobile. So, put him in there. So, yeah. That's how it's looking right now. Alright, Bruma. I used to love this guy back in FIFA. And he's pretty similar to, what was the other guy's name? Baron Taxia. Actually, very similar. Got lower type possession, but a lot more pace and more skills too. So I think he's gonna go ahead of that other Roman flank. If you look at his skills, scissors feint's good, flip flap's okay, but like you have to use manual feints to kind of use flip flap unless you want it for the double touch. But this guy doesn't have the double touch. He's got long range curler and soul control though. Long range shooting, acrobatic finishing, gamesmanship. Yeah, not a bad card. I think nothing special, but where is Bruma? No way. No, that's him there, isn't it? On the left. Let me check the photo. Yeah, that's him on the left. So I think he's not terrible, but we'll put him. We'll put him ahead of Sanchez, but behind Immobile, I think. Romalo, just this guy isn't great. He's got low lofted pass, but he doesn't have the weighted pass. So he's more of a build. Like he is a build up, but like a ball playing centre back, but he doesn't have the skills for it. So I think it's fair to say he's probably the worst player in the pack so far. So you wouldn't be too happy if you spun for him. So where is he? Ramalho. I think he's the worst player so far. And also, we don't get Dutch League events, Eredivisie events. So if there was Eredivisie events, he could probably go up a few tiers because he'd be a good player within that league. But without the events, it's not much use. All right, Furman. I think he's just missing a bit of acceleration and balance. You would think he's a player that would have good balance, just the kind of idea of the player, but he doesn't have it. And the skills, yeah, he's missing too many good ones. He has got one touch and two true passing, which is a combo, but he's missing a double touch or a acrobatic finishing. I mean, outside of that, it's not major misses. I think he's not great. I think he's gonna have to go between. I think he goes beneath this Zubeldia guy just because Zubeldia is pretty versatile. Like I said, he can play DMF and centre back. Alright, up to the next row. Nathan, not great, and if I'm being honest, I think he might be worse than Ramalho. At least Ramalho has. I don't know who's better. Okay, his stats are that, and stats are that. Okay, I think Nathan has better pace. Yeah, but not by much, has he? Not by much. Big one touch push, inch pass, by clearance. Okay, I think Ramalho has the same skills as him, but more of them as well. So yeah, I think we're gonna put Ramalho ahead of Nathan, and Nathan is gonna be the worst player in the pack so far. That's him, isn't it? Diago Gonçalves, I think I say you pronounce it. I don't know. I don't speak Portuguese. This guy's interesting just because of how versatile he is. Look at his positions. He can play a lot of areas, and then that's the first thing I check when I look at a versatile player. Does he have super sub? And he does. So this guy would be very useful in your clubs if you get your hands on him. Good dribbling stats, good acceleration. Speed could be a bit higher, I think, just because if you're playing him right mid, centre mid, left mid, or right back, you'd want the speed. Maybe take off like a bit of acceleration for the speed, but not bad. He has got track back as well, so he'd be a good kind of player to harass your opponent late on the game. But he is missing a few key skills. He's missing a interception or a true passing. Double touch, scissors feints, nothing to really beat a man. So I think, while he did look promising at first, I don't think there's much use out of this card. So if we go to put him in the tier list, I think I would have him. Below Zubeldia. So we're getting a lot of players low on this list. Oh, sorry, I didn't show the thing glitched out there. We're getting a lot of players low on this list, so it's not looking like the pack is good now. We have gone. Let me show you. We've gone through most of the bad players first, so that may be a saving grace for this pack. So we'll have to see. So let's look at Pedro. Pedro, not amazing on the stats wise. He has got very high weak foot, and if we look at his skills, scissors feint, so at least he can beat a man a little bit. Long range curler, but no soul control with it. Acrobatic finishing, first time shot. Gains track back, so he's missing. He's missing one touch pass, true passing. Double touch, like I said, soul control. He's got super sub though. Although he can play left mid and right mid, I think super sub is just for a winger is more important for with the track back, especially left mid, right mid. Because I don't think you'd be confident if you're chasing a lead to bring this guy on, so I don't think he's much use. If you look at the tier list, where we got Pedro, there's Pedro there. So I think Pedro would go. Is he better than this last guy? Just because the last guy's more versatile, I think I'll put the last guy ahead of Pedro. So, next player. Oh, my controller is disconnected. 1 second. Next player, Dan Burn. Now, this guy, I was excited. When I seen this pack release, I was excited to look at this guy. Now, I know his stats don't look too amazing, but if you've noticed, he's 201 centimeters tall. So he's very good. And I have used his GP card before. I haven't used this card. But I do remember spinning for this card and not getting them, unfortunately. So this is a very good card. I think this pack also, I think he came out with like a Rodrigo or a Vinny or something. I'm pretty sure I remember this pack being pretty good. So if we look at his skills, he's got aerial superiority. Don't think he needs it. He hasn't got good jumping, but he has got the aerial superiority. Acrobatic clearance, interception. He just missing blocker, really. And one important thing about this card is he's a defensive fullback. So if he was an attacking fullback, he might go forward and get caught out. He's not the he's got not great balance. He wouldn't want him trying to turn around real quickly to get back in position. So I think this is a very good card, very unique as well, and that's a very important factor. Like who else is like him? Tomiyasu maybe, but Tomiyasu isn't that tall. Tomiyasu is definitely better, but Dan Burn, amazing. He can play centre back too, which is very important for his versatility. So I think it's been a while since we've had a player up here, but I think I'm going to put him A tier just for the soul factor of how unique he is. I think I'd definitely rather Dan Burn in my team than Liao or Jesus or any player beneath them. Personally, I'd rather Dan Burn ahead of Ter Stegen because I have Czech, but if I didn't have a good keeper, I'd rather Ter Stegen. So I think that's the fairest place for Dan Burn on this list. Jimenez, goal poacher, got great finishing, good kicking power, but not enough skills. Acrobatic finishing. He has got true passing though. Yeah, not a great card. I think if we're being fair, I think I just put him one position ahead of Immobile. I think I'd rather Jimenez than Immobile. Okay. Next card, Thomas Muller. Now this one's confusing because look at his offensive awareness. It's very, very, very good. I don't think I've seen a player with that high off the base stats before, but that is very good. But remember when I said earlier about De Bruyne, I think the slowness of the whole player will be his detriment. I feel like the attacking AI runs are determined off the obviously the offensive awareness and the playstyle, but also the speed, because if the player knows they aren't fast enough to make the run, they won't make the run. So I think that speed's going to be a big problem for Thomas Muller. And I have him on my RTG, and he's actually playing decent on the RTG. Not that version, but he's playing decent. If we look at his skills, nothing, like he's missing double touch, one touch pass. He has got acrobatic finishing, first time shot and true passing, so not major issues there. Track back and super sub, but he's not very versatile in his positions. Like I never look at the half positions, I only look at the full ones. If he could play centre forward and right mid, I think he'd be okay as a right mid. But without those, because he has track back, but without those, I don't think he's a great card at all. So Thomas Muller, in my eyes, is gonna have to go. I think the second worst player in the pack. Just that offensive awareness gets him ahead of Nathan, but yeah, not a great player. In all reality, shame, because I like him in real life. All right, Wahi. He's a pacey striker. Like that's his type of player he is, but he's just not fast enough. His skills, he's got a few decent ones though. He's got acrobatic finishing, first time shot and true passing. He's got the soul control, long range curler combo, scissors feint, super sub. So not terrible, but the pace should be better for this type of card. So I'm gonna put him in the tier list. I think I would put him. I think behind. I think we put him in between Zubeldia and this Baron. I don't know how to say his name. That guy. I think that's fair for him. Harry Maguire, build up, not the fastest, not good defensive stats. And if we look at his skills, I'm surprised at his skills. I think he should have one touch pass and low lofted pass, just because of the type of kind of player he is. I think specifically low lofted pass, he can hit a pass in real life. So it's a bit disappointing, but he's actually not that bad in this game. He's very dominant in the air. Like play a ball into him, he usually wins it, or not. Your opponent plays a ball into a striker. I find Harry Maguire wins it very often. All of his defensive stats are above 85, except for engagement. But as a centre back, that's not an issue. So I think he's a decent card. I think we're going to put Harry Maguire into C tier. I would prefer him. I think I prefer him over Griezmann, to be honest. That's gonna. I know people are gonna get annoyed with that, but I think I prefer him over Griezmann for me. Okay, next player in the selection is Pepe. I love this guy. This guy I used at the start of the year, or start of eFootball, a GP version. He's amazing. I love him in real life. If we look at his skills, oh no, sorry, I'm showing the tier list now. If you look at his skills, he's got gamesmanship, fully enough, but that is actually good. You'll actually, if you're watching my streams, you'll know I have gamesmanship on a lot of my defenders, because if you get fouled, it's good to have. So aerial superiority, interception, acrobatic clearance. Doesn't have blocker, that's one thing. But it's not the. I mean, it is a kind of a big issue, but I think you can work around it with this card. His stats are amazing. Not the fastest, but trust me, this guy's good. I kind of wish I had my hands on him. If he had Portuguese league events, he'd be higher. I think. I don't know. I think I'd rather him over Liao and Jesus. But that's because I've got good attackers, so I don't need that Leo. I think I'll put him in between. I think he's a very good card, and I love him whenever I use him. Right, Phil Foden. Love this guy in real life. Probably, is he the best player in the Premier League? I think De Bruyne's probably better, but I think he's better than. I don't know if he's better than Bellingham, but he's definitely close. I think he's definitely more talented than Bellingham. But enough about real football. This is eFootball. His card, good dribbling stats, decent acceleration, not great pace, okay kicking power, okay finishing. Not a bad card. Off the stats, in terms of the skills, he hasn't got like 10 skills. I'm surprised. He should be a player like that, but he has got good ones. He's got double touch, up behind and turn, acrobatic finishing. They're all good. First time shot, one touch pass, true pass, and we're looking good. Weighted pass, we're looking good. Low lofted pass. I've talked about the weighted pass, low lofted pass combo a lot. It's not that important on Foden. You need it on your deeper players, your defenders, your DMF, maybe a centre mid. I wouldn't really use this guy centre mid though. So that's not that big of a factor in his favour, the combo. But the weighted pass is good for a chip through ball. just even normal through balls. And then track back, very good. He'll press from the front. So I think it's a very good card. He's got high weak foot. I think there was a version with very high weak foot though. That one's probably better just because Foden is traditionally a little bit one-footed. So having one with very high weak foot would be good. Also, another thing, doesn't have outside curler. I personally like that. It doesn't have the curl for me, so you use it. And he has got high weak foot, so I think I'd rather not have outside curler on this Phil Foden. So we'll put him. I don't think he's A tier, but I think he's top of B tier at the moment. Out of those cards. So next player, Jan Sommer, decent keeper. He is a bit short, but he's got good jumping to compensate. So I think we would put him in top of C tier. Okay, Moreno. I actually have his team of the season on FIFA. He's pretty good in there. It doesn't look that amazing here though. On the stats in the skills, okay, he's got some good ones. One touch pass, first time shot, true passing, interception, weighted pass. He's not terrible. I think he's kind of just bang average though, really. So I think when we're putting him in, we'll put him in. I think I'd rather. I think I'll put him at the bottom of C tier. There's actually a lot of Real Sociedad cards, isn't there, in this selection? Alright, Barella. Now I love and hate this. Not this Barella. I hate in this game. But one thing I'm liking about this, doesn't have high dribbling, which I know you might think is a bad thing. It's actually a good thing for me because I've had a card with 90 dribbling, just didn't dribble well. So I'm glad I didn't put the points into the dribbling, and that'll make the card worse elsewhere. But he's got good ID. He hasn't got great stats, but he has a good ID. Like in terms of, if you don't know what that means, it means just stuff that can't be explained by stats. Like Barella plays well in that regard. He's got some good defensive stats. Track back and interceptions good. Acrobatic clearance 2. Fighting spirit. But he is missing, what was it, true passing? Yeah, he's missing true passing. He's missing a double touch, or scissors feint, or a Marseille turn, something to take him by a player. But I do think you're not looking for fancy stuff from Barella. You're looking just for someone to run around basically and just keep, intercepting, blocking, and just simple passes to your more technically gifted players. So I think if I'm gonna place Barella, I'd definitely put him ahead of Sommer. Would I put him ahead of Jesus? I think that there's other Barella cards that I would put ahead of Jesus, but I don't think I'd put this one ahead of Jesus, so I'd put him at the bottom of B tier. Okay, next card is Donnarumma. So we're talking about Ter Stegen and Donnarumma. I do think Donnarumma is just a little bit better than Ter Stegen. So I'm gonna put him. Basically, I'd have them identical to each other, but I think I'll put them there for now. Rodrigo. Okay, so I think we're on the last two, aren't we? Oh no, we'll go Saka first because I think everyone knows those two are the pixel pack. So we'll go Saka first. Saka just isn't good enough in this game for me. His tight possession's too low. He's got a lot of skills. Are they any good? I mean, scissors feint's good. But he's missing true passing, pinpoint crossing. He's missing interception. Like he's not a good enough winger going forward. He's not enough fullback staying back. So I don't think the Saka is amazing. He's very high rated. So I think if I had to put Saka anywhere, I would put him, I think, just behind Barella. I'd rather Harry Maguire. Looking at that, I think I'd rather Harry Maguire and the Kanji and stuff. I think Sommer needs to move. I think we'll move Sommer there. Yeah, I think that makes more sense to me now. Oh, the tier list glitched out. Why did it glitch out again? That's my Discord. Okay, but there's the tier list again. So I had Saka up here, but I moved him down here, and then I had Sommer up here, but I moved them back here behind there. Okay. So the pixel pack. So I have got my hands on Rodrigo myself. I haven't got Vinny, but I've played. I think I played with him on a different account, on my subs account. So I think if we're gonna go a deep dive on these two. This Rodrigo has double touch, flip flap, and soul control, so he's got to level 3. He's also got scissors feint 2 if you're not feeling the double touch at that time. Acrobatic finishing, first time shot, one touch, true pass, super sub, chip shot even. Like, there's no skill here that's not effective. I mean, chip shot isn't great, but sometimes you do need it. So this guy, like, very impressive card. The only skills he would need, I think, are long range shooting and long range curler. Other than that, I think he's got everything. Maybe cut behind in turn, but that like, at this point, you're kind of just, you know, you're just looking for, you're kind of being a bit nitpicky. His stats are good. He's got, you know, dribbling and tight possession above 85, 90 finishing, 87 speed, so his speed will go to 90, 95 acceleration, 85 balance, like, will go to 88. Like, very, very good card. And the very high weak foot. Like, amazing card. It's probably good that he doesn't have outside curler just because of that very high weak foot. He can play centre forward, left wing, and right wing. So, I'm not going to put him in yet. We need to figure out who's the better player between these two. Goal poacher Vinny. Now, Vinny doesn't have the weak foot, but I'd say he has... Does he even have better stats, actually? No, is Rodrigo faster? Wait. Oh no, Vinny's faster. Yeah, that would have been surprising, actually, because I kind of would say Vinny does feel faster. But they do have similar stats. 85 balance versus 81 balance on Vinny. That's also surprising. The dribbling stats, I mean, I think Vinny's got higher dribbling stats, but in terms of which ones are more important, I don't know. I think that tight possession is more important for Rodrigo than the... Actually, I think the dribbling stats suit each player, because Vinny is faster, so the dribbling kind of suits him. Having dribbling stat itself higher suits him, whereas Rodrigo is not slow by any means, but he's a little bit slower. So the tight possession higher on him makes sense. Yeah, these guys are very good. It's the skills that are gonna, in terms of the stats. Vinny's faster, but Rodrigo has a very high weak foot, so I would go for Rodrigo there. On stats, playing with him in game is a different story though. And if we look at the skills, he's got the double touch, flip flap, and soul control combo. So the level 3 double touch. Also got scissors feint, so similar to Rodrigo. First kind of difference is sombrero, not that useful. If they have him on left wing, it can be useful, but like, it's very rare. Like, you're never really gonna get a goal from it. Has got rising shot. Okay. Yeah, rising shot will be good in him. Rising shot isn't... It's a skill you need to have good finishing for. If you don't have good finishing, it's just going to go over the bar. But he's got good finishing, so my Mbappe has rising shot. Showtime, he's very good. So I think, you know, rising shot's good on Vinny. He's got acrobatic finishing, heel trick, one touch pass, and through passing. Ah, this is very tough. Alright, so let's go to the tier list first. Definitely about A tier. I don't think there's any dispute about that. But which order to have them in? I think this is too hard, alright? Because for one player, I've got a concrete like reason why I'd have them over the other, but the other one's intangible. So I would have Rodrigo ahead of Vinny, just because he's got the very high weak foot. But I would have Vinny ahead of Rodrigo. I think it might actually be tangible. It might be just the speed I'm noticing, but Vinny just feels quicker. Rodrigo feels like, because I've used him a lot. He feels like he kind of gets, like, the ball can get stuck under his feet a little bit sometimes. Like, nothing major, but I don't know. Like, also he hasn't got super sub where Rodrigo does. But if you're talking about S tier, do you want them as a super sub? I don't know. I think I'll go. I'll go Vinny. And the reason I go Vinny is I have that Rodrigo, but I don't use him that often. Now, I've got better players, obviously, but I feel like if I had Vinny, I think Vinny would get used more often than Rodrigo would for me. And the fact that he can play left mid is a very big bonus. I think we're gonna go Vinny on that. So that's the tier list looks. Let me guys know what you think. Particularly, I want to know if Vinny or Rodrigo, who's better. Also, would you have Musiala in S tier too, or maybe Foden into A tier? I think if I were to look at the tier list, I think the biggest points of contention are going to be... Okay, boys, I don't know where I'm including this in the video. I stopped recording, but I'd asked Yanarchy to give me his version of the tier list before, and I forgot to include it. But I do want to include it now, because it's actually kind of interesting. So let me pull it up. Make sure I'm not showing anything I shouldn't be showing. So this is Yanarchy's tier list. Very similar to me, actually, and that's a good thing. Now, I think he has just the players pushed up a little bit more than me. In the sense that, like, the rankings of the players are the same in the order, but the tier list is different. Like, look, he's got the same top 4 kinda, but oh, I'm open Twitch. He got the same top 4, but it's just like, I don't know. I think Taken and Donnarumma are interchangeable for me. He's also got Dan Burn in A tier. Very interesting. He put Jesus, Barella, and Foden up to A tier. I understand Foden up to A tier. I don't know about the other two though. Griezmann in B tier. I mean, where did I have him? I had him in C tier, but Griezmann low. I respect it. Yes, Sanchez. Is that David Sanchez in B tier? That's as much as I thought he was good at. No, that's not David Sanchez. Who is that? That's Camavinga. Sorry. Yeah, Camavinga B tier. No, he was missing. Well, I can't remember if it was true passing or interception. He was missing too important of a skill for me. Leo B tier, fair enough. Maguire, man, I don't know. I don't like this Maguire and Pepe, and then Thomas Muller appeared. Nah, I don't see it. So, but to be fair, I think we kind of had different kind of methodology. I was doing it overall for the game. It looks like he's doing it relative to the pack. So, very similar tier list at the high end. I think at the low end we kind of just differ a little bit. But yeah, we'll go back to the tier list video now. Or the rest of the video, I guess. You're already in the tier list video. I think a D tier is fine. In C tier, I think a lot of people are going to have Griezmann higher. I think that's fair. Maybe a few people have Saka higher, but I think there are Arsenal fans, don't listen to them. I think people might be surprised about Pepe. I don't really see him used that often. And Leo, but trust me that Leo is... It's the big time is one of the best players in the game, but not this one for me. Dan Burn might surprise people, but I do think I kind of gave good reasons why to have him in A tier. The 2 goalkeepers are good, but I don't know. Musiala, yeah, maybe S tier. So, with a spin for the pack, we have a look at the game. I think because how many have we got? Unlimited spins. Yeah, you've got unlimited spins. 33 players. I don't think this pack's worth spinning. I think if I were to put a price on some of the players, like I'd say 1,000 coins for Vinny, I think that's good value. Musiala, let's say 800 coins, good value. Foden, 500. Maybe not 500, maybe 300. Rodrigo, maybe 800. Yeah, like they're. I don't know if Well, actually, no. I guess if you think about it though, I've added all them up. If we go Vinny 1,000, Rodrigo 800, Musiala 700. What's that? That's 2,500. Foden 3,000 coins overall. Pepe, I would put Pepe. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Actually, do you know what? This pack is like just worth it because I think if I were to kind of add up the coins totals, like in my head, I think these guys are all worthless. These guys are mostly worthless. And then it's kind of these guys that you start willing to pay money for, and that would add up. If I were my valuations, I guess would go near 3,000. And obviously, you might get lucky, you might not spin these guys. So yeah, it might actually not be a bad pack to spin. But one caveat: if you have the money to spin 3,000 coins, you probably have it to spin, 10,000 for legends. So obviously, make the choice yourself. But this is how I have the tier list. Look at the gaps in your team and see if it's worth it for there. But that's the end of the tier list video, boys. Appreciate it. I know it's been waiting a while. Like I'll pull up the Discord again. Like people have been asking for it. I get it on YouTube too. I've just been waiting for a good moment. This is a good excuse to make a tier list. But definitely let me know if you have any tier list ideas in the future. Let me know, and also let me know if you like the kind of longer, in-depth tier list idea, or you want the more quick fire one. I guess we can try that out in the next video, a quicker fire one, and see how it goes. But yeah, that's the end of the video. Bye.